Okay, can someone tell me what that was, please? Ah. So, if you remember the last time I did the State of My Being address, there's no way I could have began said video without first talking about how I had lost my grandfather to cancer back in January, because the last State of My Being address I did was back in March. If you were to tell me that the world was going to be out of tilt the way it is now, there is no way I'd ever believe you. Not even for an instant. I mean, we've had coronavirus, COVID-19, social distancing, quarantining, as of recently, the riots in Minnesota and all over the country over the death of, George Floyd. But then again, what'd you expect? Police brutality's been bad forever. This 100 days was supposed to be filled with a lot of great things, including but not limited to the attempt at the world's largest shamrock, or the second attempt at it, because again, they already did one attempt a year ago when it failed. The polar bear plunge at the Switzerland Inn, Alive After 5 in the city of Elmira. The opening of Peas Macarons in April. People traveling and, supposed to be having good times, and we can't. And it even affected, everyday life as well. I couldn't even go to church anymore. People lost their jobs, again, because of, not permanently, but, or at least I hope not permanently, but, because, place that had closed down, you couldn't even eat at a restaurant anymore. And you have to wear masks everywhere. You have to, where do you even start with all this? Where can I start with all this? Well, pretty much what I just said is a pretty, I'd say good start, but everything I've mentioned is technically, not good. And it didn't just, and even the children, schools ended up closing for the year. Not to mention the senior class of 2020, whether it's high school or college or even like 8th grade or going into middle school or stuff like that, they were canceled too. Even some retirement parties couldn't happen. Wedding ceremonies were canceled. It's just piling on after, one thing after another. And it's been rough. I, for the life of me, really can't say this was a good 100 days. Not at all. Is what I would say if I just simply gave up. But I haven't. I've mentioned this story before, but actually I just mentioned it on Sunday. But at one point I did contemplate suicide. And yet through all of that, in the end, with the help of my brother's attorney, Pauline, I didn't give up. And if I didn't give up then, I'm not giving up here. So, with that said, how about I talk about all of the good that happened throughout these last 100 days. Because with everything going on, oh yeah, there's been some good. Let's start simple. The holidays that happened. St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day. I got to celebrate those holidays with at least my folks, which I have been seeing more of lately. Sort of it allows for the opportunity to reconnect. That's always fun. And through that reconnection, I was able to talk about the Mom Food Chronicles. So stay tuned for more of those, because there's still a lot more. In fact, one Mom Food Chronicle, the broccoli and Swiss cheese soup. I hated that soup growing up, and now I like it. So, yeah, I was able to reconnect with that. And another thing is, I like playing cards again. I just shared that in the video the other day that I do like it, and I can't wait to see my family on 4th of July weekend, and we'll be able to play. That's going to be fun. We're going back up to the lake, my family is, so that's great too, and the warmer weather's upon us. That's even better. And yeah, throughout these last 100 days, I only saw my nephews once, but hey, you know what? Once is better than nothing. And with everything opening up again, I'll be able to do that more. We're finally able to eat at restaurants, albeit with, limited capacity, but, take it small, take it slow. I mean, we'd like to be full capacity soon, but, we gotta take one day at a time for the sake of, health and safety. I came clean about how I was in a dark place a couple of years ago that I needed help for. I also shared my weight loss journey as well, which is something that I never thought I'd ever do, but hey, better come clean about it now. Lots of people are finding ways to come together, even in situations where, we can't, Zoom chats. My family has Zoom chats every weekend. We've been doing that. That's great. We're talking. It's fun. I talked about, over the last 100 days, how The Masked Singer, that was a lot of fun. And America's Got Talent, that started up again. Having a blast watching those. I mean, albeit The Masked Singer kind of ended on a sour note for me, but that really was more on Fox Broadcasting than anything else. I personally started pickling again, so I'd like to do more of that as we go forward, and hopefully we'll be able to go forward, and that's going to be great. Let's see. Not to mention with what's coming up this weekend. I mean, I mentioned how Pease Macarons couldn't open up in April, but guess what? They're opening up this weekend. I'm really excited for that. And speaking of local places, support local. I talked about the Sauce Boss and on the glowing recommendation I gave that place. I hope it came across it was going, because I really did like that place. So yeah, that was really awesome. And it's so weird too, because yesterday, it said that the storage on my phone was full, and I got rid of all the data and stuff before I could upload yesterday's video on Instagram, so oops. Yeah, so that was sort of a weird way to begin my day yesterday, but it got better over time. And now we're at day 900. Things are opening up again. Hopefully I'll be able to go back to church soon. My family's going to be coming soon. Can't wait to see them. That's going to be great. Warmer weather's here. We have Father's Day weekend this weekend, 4th of July coming up, all the rest of summer with more and more opportunities for things to happen now. And even though sports were on hiatus for a while, they're sort of starting to come back. So that's going to be great. And just, even though it felt, I mean, let's be honest, it really did feel as if everything that could go wrong did. But with one door closed, but you know, it's like the saying goes, when one door closes, another one opens. And, you know, I'm pretty sure I just mentioned a couple doors that did open that I was able to take advantage of. So, yeah. I think I'm going to be okay. Now, I've been doing the State of My Being address, and in case you couldn't tell, this is the State of My Being address. So, hello and welcome to the State of My Being address. That, you know, I would find like a quote to sort of, you know, sort of round out this video. And with Avatar: The Last Airbender being on Netflix again, and it being back in the forefront in terms of popularity, I had to do a quote from that. And I found the perfect one. Oh, and before I read it, if you are familiar with the show, you've seen the show like I have, you may want to break out a couple of tissues for this quote, because not only is this quote a powerful one, it couldn't fit more with what's going on in the world than it does here. If I can just really get my computer up here, there we go. Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, literally just had it. Here it is. The greatest illusion of this world is the illusion of separation. Things you think are separate and different are actually one and the same. We are all one people, but we live as if divided. Now, it sounds like a good quote on its own, right? Well, when you think about it, we are all the human race, are we not? And, you know, we may look different, sound different, come from different areas of the world, but, you know, pretty sure we all fit under the genus and species of Homo sapien, I believe. And, you know, technically the coronavirus has divided everyone, if you will. So, but, you know, we've been living each day as, you know, granted, pretty much the days we have been living, at least in these last 100 days, have been filled with every emotion that's been featured in Inside Out that's not joy. So yeah, I thought this quote was like the best for what's going on right now. And, you know, if the sun glaring, you know what, maybe the sun glaring in my eye the way it is right now is kind of a metaphor for the fact that the future does look bright. Because, I mean, for starters, we are in Pride Month. I mean, again, I'm straight, but, you know, I do support the community. So, yeah, there's that. Again, Father's Day weekend, summer months, 4th of July. Maybe Alive After 5, no mind will do stuff. I don't know. But it's gonna be good. I really think we have every right to be optimistic about the future. And, you know, honestly, if there's one thing I am a little bit sad about even now is I really kind of wanted the One Piece manga chapters and the number of days I've been doing videos to reach 1,000 pretty much together. As of right now, it's going to be, with it, provided that there are no breaks, it's going to be, you know, chapter 198, but I'm sure there's going to be a break or two, so I predict it's going to be like chapter 995 when I reach day 1,000. So here's hoping that I'm sort of close on that. And here's the hoping that these next 100 days, which will end on September 26th, will be pretty darn good themselves. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms, turn on notifications on YouTube. I am very humbled. I made this video for all you guys that watch and enjoy for today. You know, I'm hopeful that these next 100 days are great. Hopefully they won't be filled with, and that's another thing too I want to point out before I stop this. You know, even if you didn't suffer solely from the coronavirus, people are still suffering other ways. I mean, I lost one of my old teammates. I'm still sad by that. But he'd want me to move on. He'd want me to move forward. He'd want all of us to move forward. And that's what I'm going to do. You know, Dan Manganero, you know, he'd want all of us to move forward. So, that's what I'm going to do. So, again, I hope we're all able to move forward in these next 100 days. See you on, September 26th when I do another State of My Being address. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Hold on. Take care. And in these next 100 days, you should always make good choices. See ya.